screen. I hope everyone can see my screen now. Okay, so let's continue. So I was saying that when trading these patterns or when focusing on these patterns, we are not taking these patterns in random areas. No, we are taking these patterns in what I call the psychological zones. This is the support, the resistance, old highs, old lows, things like that that I mentioned 2 days earlier. Okay, let me go on the weekly so that we can see why we were looking to buy GBP USD. Right. So we are having a support level here. You can see we have the first touch there. We are having a second touch. It's a near miss, but we count it as a touch. Okay. Price pierced through our support, right? But then it went back inside the support zone, which is another touch. Now we are approaching for the fourth time, right? For the fourth time, right? We are approaching our what? Our support zone for the what? For the fourth time. Okay. I want to show you something that is very important, guys. And okay, I want to show you something that is very important here. Right. So what is important is it's not just about price being at one area of value, but it's the nature at which we approach the area of value, right? Are we approaching impulsively? Are we approaching correctively, right? Let's say we are having our resistance. This is our resistance, guys, right? And the price is moving impulsively, approaching the resistance. But then before reaching, we start, sorry for that, before reaching our what? Before reaching our resistance, momentum starts weakening, right? Forming more of an ascending channel, right? If we approach our resistance like this, what do you think is going to happen here based on probabilities? Price is the highest probability of pushing to the what? To the downside. Why? Because we approached an area of value in form of a what? Of an ascending channel, right? It's different when we approach our area of value, right? Impulsively, right? We don't have a pattern in this area. We just having momentum. It's different, right? So this first scenario is more probability, right, of pushing price to the downside. It's different when we just approach an area of value with momentum. I'm not saying that price will not turn, right? It might turn, but the question is, if we take 10 scenarios like that, how are we going to have maybe over 6 or 7 times we see price turning here? You will see, no, price will continue pushing to the what? To the upside, because we approach the area of value with what? With momentum. There is no a pattern there, right? But it doesn't mean that we do not take trades when price approaches the area of value with momentum. There is a way we trade, right? Okay. So it's very, very, very important. I hope you got that one. Okay. let me move on. Let me move on. Okay, so GBP USD, how we approached our what? How we approached our support level was key, right? You can see how we approached our support level. We are having, it's a variation of a descending channel, because these patterns, they vary, right? They will not form exactly as the previous pattern, or the ascending channel that you know, the textbook ascending channel. It doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. Okay, so what is important is what? The way we approach the area of value, right? We can clearly see that we had an impulsive move. This price action was impulsive. This was an impulsive move to the downside. But the way we started correcting whilst we are reaching our area of value, that gave us an indication that there is high probability of price pushing to the upside. We can let's change to another chart so that we see that these things, they happen over and over and over again, right? Let's take for instance, okay, let me clear my chart a bit so that we see. Let me clear. Okay, so we are on this is Australian dollar, US dollar. Okay, so let me take my pen. Right, so on this one, we are having an impulsive move there to the upside, right? Then we are followed by this large what? We are followed by this large correction here, this large correction. So where do you think price will go next? It's not an obvious case, but the highest probability is to the what? To the upside. Why? Because we are just using our principle, impulse, correction. A correction in form of a continuation pattern will move price to the what? To the upside. That is that's the structure that we are seeing right now. Okay, so let me clear, right? As I said, we are not taking our patterns in random areas, right? Okay, I said in my strategy, I use what? Order blocks, right? We are having a weekly order block here, right? Sorry, we're having a weekly order block here, right? So I take my rail line, what we call the rail line. I take my rail line, right? I put it on the lowest point of my what? Of my weekly order block, right? So the question now is, how are we approaching that order block, right? So now we are focused on the current price, what? On the current price action. We are focused on the current price action. So on the current price action, we can see that we had an impulsive leg. This is an impulsive leg, right? Then price, it tried to correct, right, impulsively to the upside, right? But it failed, right? We started pushing correctively to the downside, approaching our order block. So now the key is, how are we approaching the order block? Are we approaching the order block impulsively, or are we approaching the order block correctively? So it's the same principle that I have showed. Sorry, it's the same principle, right, that I have showed you earlier. That let's say price is pushing to the upside. It's pushing to the upside. Let's say this is the area of our order block, right? Now price is, let me Now price is coming back to our order block. The question is, are we coming there with an corrective nature in form of maybe an ascending channel that can push price to the upside? That's the sin. If we are having this scenario, so it means we have the highest probability of to the upside. Let's go and see on the charts that is it not what happening. Okay, so let's move to a smaller time frame like the daily, so that we can see how are we approaching that order block. How are we approaching that order block? Right. So guys, trading is a game. It's a game of patience, guys. It's a game of patience. You need that patience, right? I've been waiting for this reversal for a while. I've been waiting for this reversal for a while, right? Okay. So, like I've said, how we approach the area of value is important, right? We can see the way we approached our order block, right? This is an impulsive nature. This is an impulsive move. We are approaching it correctively. We are having a corrective pattern. You can now see that momentum to the upside is now kicking in. Already, ODUSD is buying, right? And we know that there is high probability for this pair to push to the to the upside, right? So we are what we are doing is we are putting odds of success in our favor by just knowing the nature of price. That price moves impulse, correction, but you need to understand, is it a reversal correction or is it a continuation correction? Right. You need to understand that. Let's look at this point. Let's look at this another point, guys. Another point on the same pair. On the same pair, right? It might look easy, as I'm saying it, because I've been doing this for a while. It might look easy, but you need to put in the work, right, guys? You need to put in the work, right? So here is just a point for you guys, right? Especially for those guys who trade the inner circle, that strategy, the inner circle, yeah, those guys. Here's the thing that I've discovered when it comes to order block. I said I trade specific order blocks, right? So for an example here, we are in a downtrend, right? We are in a downtrend. I'm focusing on this price action, guys. I'm focusing on this trend. I'm focusing on this trend. That is what I'm focusing on right now. So I'm saying we are in a what? We are in a downtrend, right, guys? Okay. So this is our lowest. Okay, let me put my pen. This is our lowest point, right, of the trend, right? You ask yourself, where is the last order block? The last order block is this. When we say an order block, guy, let's say we're in a downtrend, we are talking of this green candle, right? Let me indicate it. We are talking of this green candle, right? That's your what? That's your order block. And that's our last order block, right? So usually what I do, I choose those order blocks that have more than 3 red candles, right? If I'm focusing on a green candle, right? If I'm focusing on a green candle, the order block needs to have at least 3 big candles before it. Like this one, we are having how many candles? We are having these candles, right? We are having about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles. Then we have our what? Our green candle there, right? So to me, those type of order blocks, they are powerful order blocks, right? When you draw your line in that area, is that has more volume, right? If I put my, let's say I put my ray line there, let me put my ray line on the top point of the order block there, right? I put my ray line. Let me delete these things. I want to show you something that is powerful, guys. Simple things, but they are very, very powerful, right? I have put my what? I have put my ray line, right? I use the same principles. How are we approaching the order block, right? You can see that this price action that is going to the order block, it's corrective, guys. This is corrective. It's different from this one. This one is impulsive. There is momentum, right? This one, we are struggling to reach what? The order block. So when we reach the order block correctively, obvious, we will form a pattern. We will form a pattern. We will form a pattern. Let me remove so that you can see clearly what I'm talking about. So you can see that we are forming what? We can see that we are forming a pattern here. This is a pattern, a typical pattern that we trade, right? A typical pattern that we trade, right? Right. Okay. So we are having this pattern, guys. So what do you think is the probability of price turning in this area? Obviously, it's high. Why? Because we approached correctively and we formed a pattern that can take price to the what? To the downside. Okay. So we can choose to go again. Let's take another pair of our choice. Let me take another pair. Which one should I take? Let's try USDs. Let's try USDs and see what I'm talking about on USDs. Okay. Right. So this is another pair that I'm looking at. Currently I'm looking at USD ZAR. Okay. So this is the pair, guys. Okay. Simple mechanics. You can see we have a big impulsive wave there, right? Okay. We are followed by this continuation pattern, right? Where do you think price will go next? Right? It has the highest probability of pushing what? To the downside, right? Already, I know that the highest probability is of price pushing to the what? To the downside, right? But I'm not taking this trade in random what? Or these patterns in random areas. No, right? Let me remove that. I need to have something, right? It's either I need to have support, I need to have resistance, or I need an old high or an old low, right? Or I need an order block to take my pattern, right? To strengthen my what? My pattern, right? So if I'm on the daily, I can see that on the daily, I'm not seeing my order blocks clearly. So I can move to weekly so that I can see if I can find an order block in that, a powerful order block in that what? In that area. Okay. Right. I'm on the what? I'm on the weekly, right? Okay. We are focusing. I said I have my own specific order blocks that I look for, right? For an example, we are in here, right? It's a downtrend there. We're having a downtrend there. Okay. Let me remove that. Okay. So we are in a downtrend. I'm focusing on that. I want to see if there is a powerful order block in that area, right? As I have said that I am looking for a powerful order block that has at least three candles, right? On this one, you can see that we have these small order blocks, right? To me, they mean nothing, because you can see we are having this momentum, these candles, a lot of candles. Then the first big order block that we have, the first green candle that we have is this one, right? So obvious, I'm going to put my ray line. Obvious, I'm going to put my ray line at the top of that green what? Of that green candle, right? Then I go back, right? Okay. Then I go back to the what? To the current price action. We are focusing on the current what? On the current price action. How are we approaching the area of value, right? That's the most important thing. So we move back again to the smaller time frame so that we can clearly see the price action that we have on the smaller time frame. Look how we are approaching the area of value. This is a pattern, this is a channel. We are approaching in form of a what? Of a channel, right? Do you think price will push to the upside there, or do you think it will push to the downside? The highest probability is to the downside. Why? Because we have seen these patterns playing over and over and again, right? And we are not taking these patterns in random areas, right? The other thing, guys, you should pay attention to your candlesticks, right? I hope one day we'll have time to teach about these candlesticks, because a lot of people, they do not understand the power of candlesticks. So it's important, the type of candlesticks that we are having in an area of value, right? It's very, very important. Like for an example, we can circle here. We are on our order. We are on the what? We are on our order block, right? You ask yourself, what are the kind of candles that are being formed in that area? You can see we are having hammers, inverted hammers. They're just hammers in that area, right? And you know that when you see hammers, it means price wants to turn. There is probability of price turning, right? So the problem that we have as people, we want to catch the highest point. We want to catch the highest point of the pattern or of the structure and take price to the downside, right? That is not the way I trade, right? I want, first, the thing that I want, allow price to commit to the downside here. Allow to have a strong candles that pushes. Let me draw it clearly so that we can see what I'm talking about, guys. So that you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. So when you are trading, you do not have to be a hero, guys. You do not have to be a hero. Catching the bottoms, the tops, like being happy, sniper entries. Yes, you will make money, but what is important is consistency, guys. First, right? I want to see momentum, right? We're on the daily. At least I want to see a red green candle, a big red candle forming, right? Closing, price closing here. Then I know, okay, now those guys who moves price, they are now in. Okay, so I'm looking for this price closes. And what next? Obvious. After that, we start looking for continuation patterns. We take continuation patterns, we push to the downside. I'm looking for these patterns pushing to the downside. As simple as that, guys. So it's all about understanding the nature of the market, how price is moving, right? So today, I think I will end here because I only wanted you guys to see the nature of price. Or let's do the last one. Let's do the last one. Then we are done. Okay. Let's take another pay. Let's take okay. There are guys who trade volatilities, right? There are guys who trade indices. Let's go to the indices. Let's go to the indices. Okay. Let's take for instance V75. Let's open V75. Let's work with V75, right? I want you to see that the same principles they appear. It doesn't matter what you are trading. The same principles they appear. I remember this trade very, very, very well, and it was very, very beautiful, right? We are on what? We are on V75, right? Let me put my line. I want to put, let's say this is our ray line, right? I'm focusing. I'm focusing on this old high. Like I've said that. What should I use so that you can see, guys? Okay, so I'm focusing there. That's my old what? That's my old high. So I've placed my what? My ray line on the old high, right? So I am looking for people to be trapped in this area when price uh, approaches our high again. I'm looking for price to break to the upside, then shift inside the what? Inside the uh, the old high, right? But the question is, how are we approaching this old high? How are we approaching it? Okay, let's take our trend lines and see the kind of pattern that we are having, guys. These things, they are very, very beautiful, and they repeat themselves over and over and over and over again, right? Okay, look at that pattern, guys. Look how we approach the area of value, right? I just I just focus on what? I just focus on patterns, right? There is a lot to learn on what? On patterns, right? Okay, so we approached the area of value in form of an what? Of an ascending channel, right? And we are just adding the odds of success in our what? In our favor. We can see that on this pattern, we are having the first touch there, we are having the second touch of our pattern there, right? We are having the third touch of our pattern there, right? And if you trade patterns, you know that the third touch has the highest probability of what? Of playing out, right? So, guys, I will end here. There is a lot to learn, but I cannot finish everything today. I think today we have heard enough. But, guys, one thing, you shouldn't be excited about this strategy. You shouldn't be excited about that, right? Always think in probabilities. Anything can happen. It doesn't matter that this pattern is played today. It might not play tomorrow. Tomorrow it might result in a loss. The next day it might result in a break even. The next day you might be profitable. What is important is to focus on a series of trades, not one trade, many trades. Then you can count if you are moving forward or you're going back. You can see how the strategy performs. So don't be excited that the things that you're seeing, right? And don't think that these things are easy. They are never easy. It's not only about the strategy, but it's about the mentality, how you approach the market. It's very, very, very important, guys. We can have a strategy that has 100% or not 100 but 90% win rate, right? And you can never make money. And you can have a person with a 40% winning ratio strategy, and that guy makes money. It's all about the mentality. Thank you, guys, for your time. Thank you to Gold Forex for giving me such an opportunity. So I will give back the floor to the what? To the host.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fire. You know, this is the kind of information that I can even also pay for.
You've
So,
started.
so thank you very much, Mr. Donald. Yeah, that was a very powerful session. You know, I don't sit down and listen 100% to the things that will be going on, but today I just took my 1000% and put it all in. So our session now, our minutes are about to expire. So what we are going to do is we are going to add Mr. Donald in our Telegram channel. I am going to keep the Telegram channel open for some time. You guys, you ask questions that you want to ask. He responds to you. I'll also help him respond to you so that we help you in areas that you are not understanding regarding all this that he has taught us about. So without wasting much time, again, I'll give you Mr. Donald Manyike's contact details so that we also go to his inbox and ask him. So his contact details, kindly write them down, please. +277 182 09571. I'll repeat his contact details again. +277 182 09571. So we can save that number if we need anything, if we need to nag him, if we need to know anything regarding order blocks or any topic, you can hit him directly in his WhatsApp. Okay. So right now, guys, what we are going to do is I'm gonna post the link to the Telegram channel for discussions again. We go to that channel, we give reviews of the sessions, we ask questions, we respond to you, and we call it a night. Tomorrow again, 5 a.m. That's around 8 hours from now again. When we wake up in the morning, you will find me awake. We are hosting another session as well. Let's come in numbers. As I always say, you know what? It's hard, it's boring to wake up in the morning. But the moment you go out of your comfort zone is the moment that you start taking everything serious. We want to be able to say by the end of August, we are better and good traders. And the statement that I always say, one day you will miss me. Utilize me, utilize us, utilize every chance, utilize every opportunity that we give you for free while you still can. Because you know what, it's all about helping each other and we want to elevate each other. So we call it a night. Let's go to our Telegram channel. Let's talk there and everything. So thank you a lot, guys. Thank you a lot for coming. Good night.